Hello all, welcome to this session of Kid Coders. My name is Mohit and I'm a community learning specialist at DoSpace. I welcome all of you to this session of Kid Coders. Tonight we'll be doing something different than coding. Tonight we'll be doing how to design 3D model and 3D objects. Tonight we'll be learning about a program. It's a free application. It's called Tinker.com. It's freely available on the browser. So if you want, you can go ahead and start with logging into tinker.com, and then I'm going to show you how we can create our own 3D objects, how we can design our own 3D objects, and then how we can change modifications to those objects, and how that is easy to take printouts for your 3D objects if you want to. So if you guys can see my screen, the application that we'll be learning today is tinker.com. So you just write tinker.com, any of your browser, whatever browser you're using. And the good thing about tinker.com is you don't have to install or download this application. So you just have to go to tinker.com. Let me log out from here and I can show you from the starting. So you go and write tinker.com, any of your browser that you are using. And I'm going to write this in the chart window too, so that people can see us here. So I have written I have sent you the link for tinker.com in the chart, Zoom webinar chart. So you can go to chart box and you can just click on that link, and that link will take you to the website. And this is a free application. You can use it on any device that you are using today. You can use it on laptop, desktop, and you can either use it on tablet and iPad, wherever you want to use it. You can use this. And then after you get here on tinker.com, you will see two options here. You will see two options here, sign in and join now. So if you do not have an account, if you have never used tinker.com before, so what you can do is you can click on join now, like this. And then it will ask you to create an account. So always click on create a personal account on this last option here. Create a personal account, click on create a personal account, and then you will be able to create an account for yourself. And why this is important to create a personal account, because it saves your process, it saves your progress automatic. So you don't have to worry about saving your project you will be working on. You're welcome, Tara. So it will be easy for you to save your project, and it will be very easy for you to go back to your project and if you want to work more on your projects. So click on create a personal account, and then it will ask you to, if you want to create a new account, or if you want to sign up with an email or sign up with a Google. So just go create a new account. And if you are working with your parents, it may ask you the date of birth and email confirmation. So just go ahead and do those formalities so that we can go into the frame, onto the interface of Tinkercad, where we can start learning about Tinkercad projects. And this is a very important step here to create a sign in and create an account, because as I said, you will be able to save your progress, and you will be able to go back to your projects, and you will be able to do more changes to those projects. You don't have to worry about saving those projects. So I'm going to take here and wait for 5 more minutes. And if you have any difficulty signing up with an account or going to this website, please let me know. Please write your message in the chat box. You can write me the message in the chat box. And if you have any difficulty here, we also have a moderator and they can also reply you. So we are just waiting here for 5 more minutes so that everyone, they make an account and they are on tinker.com. And if you're done with us, please write us a message that you are done with us, you have an account and you are on tinker.com. And after that, I'm going to show you very cool things that you can do with tinker.com. You can design your own 3D objects. And as many of you know that we have 3D printers here at DoSpace. We are not here, we are not open for public now because of COVID-19 situation. But then we have three big 3D printers, and we also have portable printers. So you can design your own small projects here, and then you can download those files to .stl format, and you can get those file in a pen drive or a computer or a flash drive to DoSpace, and you can take out the printouts of the object that you made it for you. So we are waiting for a few more minutes here to perfect. We have another message that they are in. Yeah, so as soon as you get in and have an account, create a username, and I will also advise you to write your credentials, write your email address you are signing up with, and write your password. Perfect. People are getting in. Thank you so much for your messages, guys. So as I was saying, I always, advise people to write their username and password so that next time you want to log in, you can write your username and password or your email, so that you don't have to worry about losing that. Or you can do, if you're using a personal computer, you can do save it to your computer. In that case, you will be able to log in. You don't have to worry about remembering your email and password. So I'm going to click here and choose here sign up with my email. Okay, so I already have an account, so I'm going to click on sign on here. So guys, as you see that, I am logging here, you can add your picture. And this is also very interesting to add your picture here, because you will be able to, as you have account on Tinkercad, you are also allowed to share your projects with a community which is on Tinkercad. And you can invite your friends, and you can ask your friends to see your projects that you have been working on. So always, if you want, you can go ahead and you can choose a picture for your account if you want to, and you can do, or you can do it later. And then, this is, whenever you open this, you will see my recent design. So these are the projects that I have worked on. So I'm also not very expert with Tinkercad. I just started. I worked on one project 6 months ago, and then I was working something today to show you guys. I created this. So this is just like a bucket shape, and this has a do. So I was trying to create a do space logo on this. So I have do space. So I'm going to show you how I made this today, and then I'm also going to show you some extra cool features that you can do, and you can create your own design in this. Someone raised hand here. Well, if you have any issue, please write me on the chat box, and we'll be able to answer you. Yeah, so I was saying you this will give you your username here, and then you can see what are the projects you have been working on. As also I said, in this, when we were starting this lesson, that it is very important to create a username so that you can see your projects that you have been working here, and it's saved by itself. You don't have to worry about saving those projects. It's automatically saved. And then here some other things you can see. You can go to gallery, and you can see what community is working on. People, they have been designing very cool things on Tinkercad. It's a very famous, very popular uh, interface application with kids, and they make so many cool things here. And then also, when you make some of things like this, what you can do is, you can go, if you have an access to 3D printer, or if you do not have an access, you can go to a library, or you can go to a do space, and then you just have to get the file in .html format. You just have to download this file, and you can export it to a flash drive or a floppy drive. I'm sorry, a CVD or DVD drive. And then what you can do is, you can go and take printout of those things by yourself. So you can see in gallery what people have been making projects like this, and some of them, they have pictures after they have taken the 3D printout. Some of them, they are very looks like they're very difficult to make, and some of them they have some of them, they are like pretty easy once you get hold of how to design things here. So it takes a lot of effort here. And then this is a very good gateway to big softwares like AutoCAD and then more other softwares that you may want to learn in your future. So if you can get good learning here with Tinkercad, then you can go ahead and you can also learn more complicated softwares like AutoCAD or AutoCAD 360 and all those things. So and then there's a blog option here also. You can create post it with a blog, and there's a learn. So you can go to learn, and there would be some more options here. So I would always suggest people, if you are a beginner and you have never done any of the project at tinker.com, and this is the first time you are using it, I always try to go ahead and with this lessons here. So these are the four basic lessons. So this is how you take an object. This is how you view object from a different view. How do you move an object? How do you resize an option? How you make it bigger or smaller? How you can rotate it? And then you can also click on see all starters, and then you can go to different lessons. So I'm not going to go through all this lesson today because I want to show you some things that I've been working on and also give you some and then group it is one of the most important tool that you should learn, and I'm going to show you in a minute how is this going to work. And align it is also a very important application that you should know before you start working on the projects. So I will always suggest you guys to go ahead and go through these lessons. These just like 1 minute or 2 minute lessons each. So we have six of them. So you can go through by one later after this class if you're more interesting. Well, someone has to leave and they're saying bye. Well, bye. You can join us next time. Every time we do different things on Tuesday 5 to 6 in Kid Coders. So guys, if you are new and you are like beginner and you have never done tinker.com, I would advise you, as I explain interface, I'm going to explain the same things uh, here in a minute. And then if you want, you can watch, you can just see my screen, or you can also go through and watch these videos by yourself too. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and go to my gallery again, the 3D designs. So this is my gallery here. I just made this magnificent cup, and this is another object that I was working on. So I'm gonna go click on create new. So when you go here on the top, you can click on, do you see the option here? It says new. I'm going to annotate this for you here. So you see new option here. So when you go and go to your username and click on new, this will take you to a newer design. So you are going to start a new lesson. So I'm going to click on new. Okay. So this is a new lesson here, new design. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So this is a new design here, but before we start this, yeah, before we start this, I'm going to show you one very important thing here. So, if you like this and you want to make objects with collaboration of your friends, or, maybe you want to collaborate with someone who is very good at designing, what you can do here is you can click here on this plus icon, and you hover this, it will tell you invite people to design with you. So you can work on this like a Google document we work on. Let me see here. So yeah, so this send you a link to the person, and then they will be able to use you'll be able to collaborate on a design that you have been making. So let's go ahead and start with a new design here. I'm going to show you very nice things, very basic things here, so that we can learn about how to go ahead with the start. of the designing object that you want to design today. So first of all, what I always do is I go here and change the name. So this is why this is very important, because Tinkercad is going to give you a random name to the object that you are going to make. So whatever you want to make, for example, if I want to make a cup, so I'm gonna just write, or whatever object you want to make, you can just write, the name of the object, and the name of the file will be changed. Always very important when we are working on multiple projects, because this is the name that which project will be saved in your gallery. So you always want to distinguish or differentiate between different objects that you are going to make, or different designs that you are going to make. So very, very important. So today we are just going to, talk about very basic things that we can do here in Tinkercad. So let's start with some this option here, which says Tinkercad basic shapes. So as you see, there's a drop down menu here. So you're going to click on this drop down. So you're going to see there are more than one option here, and there are multiple options. So you can choose any of these multiple options here. So I am on basic shapes now. So if I'm gonna see what are the basic shapes that I can choose for my drawing, for my design, so I'm gonna go scroll down here. So and I see there are so many options here. There are spheres, box, cylinder, boxes, and there are pyramids, half spheres, tubes, hearts, stars. So there are so many things that I can do and I can use from this basic shapes. And if I want to have more options, I can choose, go ahead and I can go text numbers. So there are, so as I show you in the starting, that I did something like a cup, and I made do on that cup. So I choose D and O from here. This is a list of alphabet. You can choose it, and you can go to number 2, and they have more options here. They have at the rate of sign, they have exclamation mark, different signs that you can choose. And then you can see there are more options here. There are characters, there are connectors, and then there is another one which is you can design your own. So if you are really interested in something, uh, if you are really interested in something, someone is raising their hand. Just give me a minute here. And I have a message that says I clicked and it said forbidden. Can you please write us what did you click on? So yeah, so all the assemble, and then you see there's more options here. You can create your favorite. Yeah, so sorry about this, guys. So as I was saying, we have different options here, and then we can choose any of this and different shapes, and then whatever shape they're working on your situation here. Thank you so much, Ariane. So yeah, so we can choose any of the shape here, and this is very interesting to have different shapes, as you can see. Let's go to the basic shapes here. So this was about what you can choose from here, from the Tinkercad. And then I'm gonna start with the choosing one shape here, and I'm gonna show you what all things we can do with one shape, and basic of choosing an object, and how we can look that object from different views, and how we can move that object around, how we can increase or decrease the size of that object. If there are two objects, how we can group them together, how we can align them. So these are 6 or 7 different things that we are going to learn before we start on our designing. So we are going to work today on the very basic of Tinkercad, and I would say very basic of working with designing of 3D objects, which is very important. So you are welcome to work with me. You are welcome to uh, put this Zoom in another browser, and then, or maybe in a different tab, and you can just go along and look what I'm doing on my screen, and you can keep working with me. So I'm going to choose cylinder shape here. So whenever you want to choose an object, what you have to do is you have to bring an object. Yeah, so what I was saying is, whenever you want to choose an object, so for example, if I want to choose the cylinder here. So what I did, I just choose the cylinder and I just dragged it to the work plane here. So this is called work plane. This is the place where you're going to work with different shapes. And this is how, for example, if I want to work with cylinder, I just put it here and I dragged it from right to left like this. And then as you will see that, if the cylinder is, I'm going to delete one of them. And if you want to delete one of them, it's very easy. Just select the object. Then you will see the object is selected. You will see all the dimensions across the object. And then you will see all these things will be option that you can use. So this is the copy option. If you want to duplicate and repeat, just click on this and there will be two objects. So you can move one of them. See there, I just made one out of two. So sometimes people, they work with, multiple objects of the same similar type. And they just, change the size, shape and size, I'm sorry. So you can just go here and click on this and it duplicates the size. And right next to it is the option which is delete. So if you want to delete one of the object, you just select the object, and as I just said, when the object will be selected, you will see all of these things here. So if this object is selected, I'm going to click on delete and this will be deleted. So this is the very basic thing of choosing an object and dragging it from uh, right to left on the work plane. And whenever you want to select an object, you have to just left click once on that object. I just clicked left click once and then object is selected. Now let's see how I can make changes to the object. So if I want to make changes to the object, to the size and the shape, what I can do is, when this object is selected, you will see different coordinates here. So you will see it is telling me this is 24 is the width of this object, 20 is the height of this object. So if I want to change it, see there's a 20 height of this object, and then 24 is the width of the object. So if I want to change it, the only thing that I have to do is to just drag it. So just take your mouse and left click with the mouse and then just drag it. And as I would also want to mention this, if you want to learn more about Tinkercad, and if you're not using a desktop, you're using a laptop, and if you have an access to a mouse, like an external mouse that you can connect to the USB, it's very helpful and it's very easy to do things when you have an access to a mouse. So if you do not have now, that's okay. You can just practice it with me, and maybe you can get one later whenever you want to practice more. And if you have an access to one now, I would suggest it to connect it to the mouse on the laptop if you are not working with the desktop. So yeah, so I was talking about, see, and then you can just drag it in any direction. If I want to increase the height, I can increase it like this. I can increase the width like this. And then also one other thing that I would like to tell you is very useful and very handy. If you want to, if you sometime, most of the time when you are going to work on different big designs and big projects, then you work with multiple images, multiple shapes. So when you work with multiple shapes, you have to have a specific width, specific height, and specific size of different objects. So if you want to have those specific numbers, what you can do is you can just click here on the dimension and you can change it to any number. See, I just wanted to make it 20, so I just typed 20 with my uh, computer notepad here. And then if I want to make it 35, I just type 35 and it's changed. So this is very important, guys. Please take some time to learn how you can change, different dimensions of the object that you're working with. So always remember, the object should be selected when you want to change it. And then always remember, you can also drag it left and right, or drag it up and down to change the size. Or if you have a specific number, you can click here and you can choose specific number here like this, and it will be changed. And click enter and it will be changed. Okay, now we have an object, and now we know how we are going to put an object in in the work plane, how to drag it from the uh, list of the characters basic shapes here, and how we can drag it into work plane, and how we can change the dimensions. Now the other very important thing when you work with 3D objects and the software with 3D objects, it's very important to see object from different sides, different point of view. How does it look like from the top? How does it look like from the front? How does it look like from the right and left and bottom? This is very important when you work with 3D objects. So there is an option here. You can see it says top front. So whenever, if you want to work it and see from the different angle, you have to just click on top and click on right, click on left, or you can just keep clicking and it will keep changing. How does it look like? And this is the top view. And whenever you want to come back to the work plane mode, to want to see on your object, click here on the home screen. This is the home screen here, and you will see the home view of the object that you have been working with. Very, very important, guys. So always try to see how you can change different views of the object that you have been working with, and how to come back to the home object here. And then this is another fit all in view. So if you're working, so as I said, if you work on multiple projects, it's always like you also go and work with different objects. So this will fit all the objects in this single view for you. And this is zoom in and zoom out option. So this is zoom in if you are working on some small objects, small projects. And if you have, working with a big project, then you have to make objects come together and connect them. And some of them they are smaller and some of them they're bigger. So this is very important to go zoom in and zoom out like this. And this is a switch to the flat view. If you want to work on a flat option here, so you can click this and you can see this in a flat screen and to change it for you. Okay, so this was about how we can add how we can add an object from the list of the objects, and how we can change the size, and how we can see different views, how we can delete, how we can duplicate. And this is about redo and undo here. If you do not like any change, you can click on undo, and if you want to do it the same thing, you don't have to do it again and again. You can just click on redo and it will help you to redo it for you. Okay, so this was about very basic, guys. Now I'm going to show you how to group two objects, how to align two objects. Those are very important concepts when we are working with multiple objects. But before that, I'm going to take a pause for 2 minutes here, and ask my attendees here if they have any questions. Please write me in the chat box. And then we have someone, they are not able to go to the new, but my coworker is helping them. So other than this, if you have any problem, if you're not able to drag your object, how to, if you can move your object, and then you can also just click in this and move the object like this, move it wherever you want to, and increase the size, see the different view, and then go to home, zoom in, zoom out. Please send me a text messages. We are learning very basic things today. I just designed a cup for you with a logo of Do Space. Let's see if we can get there. But then it's very important to learn basic thing before we go any further. So this is important. Okay, so let's work on multiple objects now, and then if we work with multiple objects, we'll be able to see how to group, ungroup. Here are the options, how to group, ungroup, and there's a mirror option here, align option here, and there's a mirror option here. So we're going to learn about these options here. And then on the right side of this, as you see, there are some options which says import, export, and send to. So import is if you want to import any file in your laptop, a 3D file uh, to this application, you can use import. And if you want to export, if you want to save, download this file, you can export, and you can export into. And always remember, guys, when we are working with the 3D objects and 3D printers, always remember we have the most the most used format of the file is .stl. .stl, it's very important because most of the printers, 3D printers, they take .stl format file to create 3D objects for them, for print 3D objects. So if I go to export and always choose .stl format to file, download that file to your computer, and you can always email it to yourself, and you can share it with other people, and with different apps if you like something design that you have made. So this was about all these options here. So let's go ahead and drag one more object, one more cylinder here, and I'm going to make it bigger. So I'm going to read so this is 39 and 21. Let's read this instructions. So I'm going to make it pretty similar to this. Or what I can do is I can just delete this, and I can select this, and I can copy this, duplicate this. And I can move this out of this. Perfect. So now I have two cylinders here. So now I'm going to show you what does import, what does align mean, and what does group and ungroup mean. So, when you work with 3D objects, with complex objects, with big projects, what do you have to do is most of the time is that you have to make different shape, different objects look like one object. And then if you are working on a combination of items, like for example if you're making images that we just saw in the gallery, like a big structure of maybe a dog, or maybe like a house, or maybe like a different cup, uh, different objects, then you have to work on multiple shapes, and then you have to align them so that they can align with each other. Also, you have to make them as a group, as a one object. So this is how they become handy, these the objects that I'm going to show you right now. So for example, these are two, yeah, for example, these are two shapes here. These are two cylinders here, and I want to align them, and I want to make them a simple uh, like one object. I want to combine them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one. So there are two options to use these three options here. Either you can just drag your mouse across both of them like this, and they both will be selected, and these options will be highlighted here. Or you can do one more thing. You can select one object, and you can hold shift key on your touchpad on your computer or your desktop, and you can select the other one. Then both of them will be selected too. So when you are working with multiple objects, you have to select both of them together, or all of them together if you're working with more than two. So this will be very important to select both of them at the same time so that we can work on them. So how we do this? Either we drag our mouse across them like this, left click and drag it like this, or we can just select one of them and then do the shift, hold the shift and select the other one. This is the same thing too. So now if I want to make one cylinder after two cylinders of different radius, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on align here. And after you click on align option, after you select both of them, always remember you have to select both of them together. You will see dots like this. So these dots are how do you align them on x-axis? How do you align them horizontally? How do you align them vertically, height-wise? And how do you align them in the middle of the object? So now I just clicked on this middle dot here. So now they are in line with each other. Now they are facing one. Now they are placed one after each other. So this is very important concept to learn when we are working with 3D objects, that we have to know how they are placed, and how images work, how objects work, and how different shapes work. So this is also a practice of different shapes and geometry. So so I just clicked this and I saw that they are aligned with each other now. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this option here, group, and they are gonna group it together. So now if I'm going to move, so what I just did is I just grouped them together, but I grouped them together in the single plane. I grouped them together in a single horizontal plane, which is they are placed right next to each other, right after one each other, and they will be moved in single object now. So if I want to move it right, left, I don't have to worry about dimensions now. I don't have to worry about placement, that if they are not placed one after each other. If I have grouped them, they're going to work it like this. And now if I'm going to see if I'm going to see the right panel, I can see that they are just after each other or left. Any view I would like to see, they are not going to move from their placement. So this is why it's very important to group them together. Now if you want to ungroup them, you can just click on them, and after they have been grouped, you will click on once on them. You will see these dimensions, these arrows and square boxes, small square boxes on both of them, because they have been grouped together. Now you will not see this group option, but instead of this you will see ungroup option. So if you're going to click on ungroup, they will be ungrouped. Now they can move differently. You see, now I can move them, I can change their size and shape differently. So this is a very important concept. I'm going to show you in a minute why this is very important. And if you feel like they are above the plane, you can just drag it like this. Now what I did is I just made one of my shape is hollow. So I just made this. So what you can do is you can select one of the object here and you can click on hole, and this will make the object hollow here. So now I'm going to show you how you can make a specific dimension ring with different cylinders. So let's take this and then place this above the shape of the previous sphere here. And now choose both of them. And now do you see there's an align option? I'm going to click on align here. So I'll see these dots. So you see, after I just click the middle one here, now they are right above each other. So if you see the top view from here, you will see they are right above each other. This is very important concept to learn, guys, because we will not get the specific shapes when we are going to design. We have to make our own shapes. We have to make our own structures when we are working with different objects. So this is very important to learn these concepts before we start designing our objects, before we start designing our projects. How do you group them? How do you ungroup them? And how do you work with different kind of movement like this? So now right now they are one above they are one above each other. So before this I showed you how I can place them right next to each other, and right now I'm showing you how they can be placed one above each other with this align option. And when you click on align, you will see these dots here. So when you want to you know align horizontally or align like this is vertically, so I just align them vertically. And you can also align them. Now they are also in line with each other in the space. So I just click this one. So now they are in line with each other in the space, and also they are in line with each other like on the top of each other too, like this. So now I'm going to ungroup. Now I'm going to group them and let's see what happens. You see? Now we just have a different cylinder with a vertical shape that we wanted, and this is above the work plane that we have been working on. So now, like, you can also practice this with me if you have not been doing it. Let's get this here. I'm gonna align this again and group it. See? Now I am able to make different shapes out of this. Do you see? This looks like a different shape. I just created from two cylinders. Do you see? It looks like a toy. So this is the basic of AutoCAD, a software that is used to design, very complex and difficult parts in all of the machines and all of the big machines and robots and everything. This is the very important concept. How do you group the objects, and how do you make them one, and how you create different shapes out of two easy shapes, out of two difficult shapes. So let's go to home here, and now if I want, I can click on this one and I can bring it to the ground. If I want to look at, see, now this is exactly a total different shape here. And if you want to look at the different view, you can just drag it and move it like this. You see, I can move it in any direction if I want to. And I can increase the size from here, and then I can move it again if I want to. Now this looks like a different shape. So this is very important, guys. And you see this shadow here, it means this is below the plane. So if I want to have to get this above the work plane, all I just have to do is get it up like this. Now this is above the plane. We just created a new shape out of two shapes here. So this is how you work on with basic shapes. And now I'm going to show you a very good example here of text. So for example, if I want to choose any of the text here, just get this here. If I want to put this object here on the top, just get this. And you can just engrave objects. This is the quality of 3D printer, guys. You can just play along with this, and you can just make whatever you want. You can play with this. This thing requires practice for sure, but then when you just get used to it, and then you can learn more things. If you keep practicing this, you will be able to know how you can do more things. So these are not aligned now. If I want to have this A alphabet right on the shape that I made, what I'm going to do is, like we did earlier, we just learned about how to align them and how to group them. So I'm going to first select them like this, and I'm going to click on align here, and I'm going to align, oops, like this. So this is like bottom align if I want it at the bottom. So you can play around with this and you can just do different things here. Let me select this again and click on align. Yeah, this is right one above each other. So I'm gonna click on group here. And then, the one thing that I would like to tell you is when you have grouped the, so do you remember we grouped the two cylinders together? Now you don't have to worry about, treating them as two different objects. They are just one object now. So you don't have to worry about. So they are one object now. And right now we are working with two different objects, which is A as an alphabet and also the new shape that we made. So working on these objects, I'm going to group this together. So this didn't work because we have to have this object below this and also drag this object like this and create it that it is going to be on this object. And so you have to make sure that this should be like some of it should be in the other object alphabet and then also some of it is above it like this. So now let's see if I can engrave these together. So I'm going to select all of them together and click on group. Perfect. Did you see? We just created a different object here with an alphabet on it. And right now I can move this all together. And if I want to move this on the work plane, I can move it on the work plane. And if I want to increase the size, I can increase the size and more. So there are more, so guys, there are many things that you can do like this. I would suggest you to go through, this is we pretty much discussed everything that that was just, the information in the 5 basic videos today. And then we learned all of them. So I would suggest you to just go step by step, try to see how you can work with different alphabet, different shape, different object, how you can group them, how you can ungroup them, how you can make different objects from two different shapes. This is very important for creating multiple objects. So it's very important, guys. So just go ahead and, keep working on this. And then I have like 5 more minutes here. So I'm gonna be here to answer your questions. Please write me if you have any questions and keep practicing. And then you are also, I'm gonna write down my email here. So what you can do is if you have any, difficulty using any of the feature that we just learned today, you can email me or you can share your projects with me. It's my email here in the chat box. So you can write me email or you can just tell me. You're welcome, Farah. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, please keep working on this. And if you are parents, please advise your kid how to use this, and keep working on new and new objects, how to create different objects. And then we are always here to help you and also motivate you to make different objects. And then keep working on this and send me if you have any question or any problem. And if you're not able to, if you're working on a specific project, and if you're stuck somewhere, please tell me so that I will be able to help you with those things too. And also for all of our attendees, I would like to tell you that we have been doing our summer program digitally. This time every summer we do a to-do list, and kids, they have to do some of the things. So we have all of our information on our website. Please go there and check that out. And if you will be able to perform all the lists that we have, you will get some prizes too. So make sure you go on our website and you ask for your, yeah, thank you so much, Arian. This is the information for our to-do list, and also for our summer 2020 passport and other programs. And we have been also doing summer video challenges and summer make along videos. We just released a robot making summer video challenge and also a cotton ball launcher. So please just go check those out. And if you they're very easy to work with, and you can work them with the things you have at your house. I'll be here for 2 more minutes. If you have any question about using these objects and about working the things that I showed you, you can message me in the chat box and I'm going to answer you. Looks like we don't have any message here. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And please keep working on your designs and let me know. Email me if you have any difficulty using this, and I'll be always ready to help you out with this. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.